I'm David Volk, a voice of the resistance, albeit a strange and funny one. Today's post, it's 25th Amendment time. Top ways Trump is getting worse. They're going to take him away. Ho ho, hee hee, ha ha. Remember all those stories about how President Biden wasn't all there? Remember his leadership was so bad that he embraced Russia, left us unprotected, and caused rampant inflation through tariffs that didn't make any sense? No? There's a reason for that, of course. Because the man Jake Tapper says was losing it was one of the most effective presidents we've had since Franklin Delano Roosevelt. But Trump, now there's a stable genius. Just ask him. Whatever you do, though, don't ask him anything else. Why? Because he's losing his shit. What? You need some proof, Sparky? Well, here goes. 1. Insist the Jeffrey Epstein story is just a hoax. Yes, it was dreamed up by Democrats who wanted to smear Dementia J. Trump and cost him the election, which helps explain why they didn't release the files they had when they had the chance and kept him from returning to office? Say what? Well, that didn't work very well. 2, refusing to answer questions about the Epstein story, and then spending half an hour explaining why it's fake news so that reporters shouldn't cover it, forcing them to spend another day covering the story so they can explain what he's referring to. 3, constantly changing his story. Not only is he the worst liar in the world because he can't keep his story straight, but each new explanation contradicts the previous one and the timeline that we already know to be accurate, which forces reporters to keep covering how his explanation doesn't fit the facts. Dude, if you really were the stable genius you claim to be, you'd pick one lie and stick with it. Then there'd be nothing new to report. But you just can't help yourself, can you? 4, penal maneuvers in the dark. I don't know about you, but I can just hear Beavis and Butthead laughing at this one in the far-off distance. He said penal. Now, Mr. Dictator for a Day is claiming he wasn't responsible for Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell being transferred to a minimum security federal prison. Really? Well, riddle me this, fat man. How did she get there? Are you saying she just faxed herself or ripped a hole in the time-space continuum, crawled in, and ended up at Club Fed? Do you really expect me to believe that something happened in your government without your proving it? Aren't you the person who said he alone could fix it? If so, either someone needs firing or you aren't the all-powerful being you promised. 5, has trouble completing a thought. Is drifting off topic more and more frequently. He recently spent 15 minutes during a cabinet on important issues ruminating on decorating. While meeting with European Commission President, he went from talking about immigration to talking about how windmills drive whales loco. Maybe he was just talking about himself. After all, he is as big as a whale, and he is pretty loco. 6, yelled from the White House roof. What? Are you thinking you're Juliet from Romeo and Juliet now? I can just see Dementia J saying, it was the greatest play ever. In those days, when men played women's roles, I played the original Juliet, you know? The truth is that he was in the middle of a meeting with a foreign minister when he stopped suddenly, saw members of the Secret Service that he didn't recognize patrolling the grounds, ran to the back of the office, threw open the door, and yelled, "Get off my lawn!" Then he suddenly found himself locked out of his own office and thought no one would notice if he went on the roof and tried to break back in. What a great idea that was. 7, he's taken to yelling cartoon curses after court losses. Every time one of his administration's controversial actions is challenged in court, he looks at his cabinet and says, "Ruh-roh." Then, when he inevitably loses the court battle, he yells, "Curses! It would have worked, too, if not for those meddling kids." He then demands something called a Scooby Snack. I've been David Volk, a voice of the resistance, albeit a strange and funny one.